Buenas noches. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to all those on YouTube. We hope you all had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Y la barba la barba is it's a holiday thing only, la barba. So we welcome everyone back. We were off last week. We'll be back. We're back on schedule now. You heard Father Sainz in his petitions. We'll keep the Antons, the Munices, and the Takachel families in our prayer with the passing of their particular family members and also our congregante Amaro. We have some young guys here. One just escaped, but some of these young guys we met 2 weeks ago. I'm just going to introduce two of them once one comes out of the bathroom. First, Francesco, if you'll stand up. This is Francesco's first time here, actually the first time I meet him. He's a friend of Oscar Muñoz Rendon, who's part of the Estovir group, and he brought him today to introduce him to the ACU. So welcome, Francesco. But Francesco, tell us where you study, where you went to high school, and what you're studying. Very good. Thank you, Francesco. We also have Isaac. Isaac, if you'll just stay up. Isaac is a member of the Estovir group, graduated last year. Tell us, Isaac, where you're studying and what you're studying.
I'm studying English at Fordham University.
Very good. Welcome, Isaac. So I'm going to invite Carlos because he's actually going to introduce two other of our new guys that are here today.
So as representing the commission for the Father Armando Llorente Scholarship, the commission of 5 members, which are consisting of David Fernandez, myself, Jerry Portela, Jay Velasco, and Eric Vieira. And as part of the commission, we get the pleasure of reviewing the applications from the Estovir members who apply for this scholarship. And as you know, for the more for the young people, young ones that are here, Father Armando Llorente was our spiritual director for 58 years. And he was an inspiration to a lot of us here in this room. And he is what the Agrupación represented to us. And so in memory of him and for what he did for the Agrupación, we established a scholarship which helps the students with their college tuition and expenses. So as you may remember, a couple weeks ago, we already we named 2 of the recipients of the scholarship, Lucas Jimenez and Joey Toledo. So congratulations to them. And today we get the pleasure of nominating 2 more that are going to receive the scholarship. So this year was a very bountiful year, the 2022-2023 school year. We have basically a total of 4 recipients. So I'm going to call each one of them, and we're going to talk to them a little bit. The first one is Oscar Muñoz Rendon. So Oscar, tell us a little bit about, I'd like to put everyone on the spot and then embarrass them, so don't feel you're being called out. No, tell us a little bit about your experience at Estovir. What did you do? And then after that, tell us a little bit where you're studying and what you're doing in college.
Right. So coming into Belen, was one of the most important decisions that I made in my life. I started as a freshman, and so it really was, in many senses, more so my decision than it was that of my parents. And a big factor in making that decision was the religious element of the school. I went to a public school with Francesco, actually, for middle school, for elementary school, and there was something there that was lacking. And I remember when I was exploring my options for high school, Belen really stood out as that place where I could really grow in my faith. Shortly after starting there, I met Heli and Lucas, and they were constantly telling me, you have to show up to Estovir, you'd love it here. Like, it fits you, man. Like, you have to be here. And I pushed it off for a while, but after about a year or so, I finally showed up. And honestly, the way in which God unfolded so many graces through the group is something that still astounds me to this day. Whether it be like genuine like Christian friendship, growing in what is genuine Christian manhood. It was genuinely the most formative experience that I had in my life and during my time at Belen. During my time at Estovir, I was on the board. I kind of like unofficially, my last year, delegated responsibilities for like different faith formation stuff that we were trying to bring to the Estovir group, whether it be like the Bible study or the Rosary group that we started, and so forth. And honestly, like the whole concept that we came up with our last semester, or actually our last year of faith in action, is really something that I've been trying to bring with me to college. And yeah, Estovir means so much to me. Like I can't overemphasize how much those three words, be a man, really mean to me, and how much this group has meant for my personal faith formation.
Talk a little bit about that. Talk to them about the consecration group that you had to St. Joseph.
Oh yeah, I remember talking one time with Alex Sanchez, who unfortunately is not here with us today, about really like wanting to develop a devotion and a relationship with St. Joseph, as kind of like the person who is most emblematic of those three words that we say whenever we say Estovir. We spoke about it, and we were in a peer ministry class where there was a documentary about the life of St. Joseph, and there was I think it was like Father Donald Calloway or something. Yep. He kept on saying, like, you got to do this consecration thing, and we're like, let's do it. And I had so many fruitful, like, prayerful experiences during those 33 days. It's something that I need to do again. In fact, you're reminding me of that because I definitely need to go back into developing that relationship with St. Joseph, which to some extent I've been neglecting.
And then what about in college now? So where are you and what are you studying?
Right. So I'm at Yale University. I'm studying computer science and philosophy as a double major, but I'm considering doing math and econ. It's kind of a big shift. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm also doing Navy ROTC there. I developed a passion for I guess the United States military. Over my last 2 years here, I did like a summer program at West Point, and I kind of like decided it was something that I really wanted to do with my life. And I've been very fortunate enough to be able to pursue that through the ROTC program at Yale, which is the closest thing to a family that I have over there. I've also been more involved in ministry stuff later on in this semester, whether it be St. Thomas More, the Catholic Center at Yale, or the Christian Union, where I've also attended a lot of Bible studies. And that's been mainly like my social circle besides the ROTC group. But yeah, I really, going into my second semester, I want to make faith a bigger priority than it has been my first semester. A lot of it was like learning the ropes of like how to go through college and so forth, but I definitely feel the need to dive deeper into my faith now that I feel more settled in.
So one of the things with the Agrupación Católica Universitaria, the ACU, is that we always espouse you want to be in the top position, be one of the top places in your profession, if you're a student, as a student, and you had that achievement, my understanding is, because you were co-valedictorian of your class last year. Congratulations. So now I get to embarrass him, and just wanted to. So I read, obviously we read the application that you wrote, and one of the things I wanted to highlight is something what he mentioned about his military background. As someone interested in serving my country through the armed services, St. Ignatius' approach to understanding spirituality as a war between the good spirit and the enemy, the both of which are at war to control man's soul, is one that has always made a lot of sense to me. Having read much of the spiritual exercises both in and out of the classroom, I've also developed a deep appreciation for Ignatian contemplative prayer. And by the way, we have a spiritual director who also has a love for the military, so feel free to talk. Thank you so much. Stand over here for a second. And the next nominee is Ellie Santelis. Ellie Santelis. So Ellie, tell us a little bit about your experience in the Estovir group, and then a little bit about your experience now in college, where you're doing.
So I think, I have a little bit of a different path than Oscar, but actually our paths crossed twice. So, I met him at actually in preschool, and it was kind of funny that in high school we kind of, re-met. But, I think with a lot of, a big struggle today is that, a lot of people have pointed out that, like the cradle Catholics, people that were instilled with your faith from your parents, that, unfortunately many of them, of the children kind of were out from the faith. And even though, I did, my parents were a very big part of my faith, I was an altar server, I was around them in prayer. In middle school, I did find myself a little staring away from faith a little bit, kind of been weakening it. And Estovir has been has been great to me because it has been able to rekindle that faith and make it my own. And to see the different aspect of it than even though I went to, Catholic elementary school and middle school, of course, here at Belen, it was, kind of reestablished my faith and gave it meaning to myself. So I thank Estovir for that.
And in Estovir, what was your position?
I was president of Estovir and a board member since junior year.
And tell us a little bit about where you're studying now and what are you studying?
So just like Isaac, I'm at Fordham University in New York. So I'm studying business right now. Of course, I love being in New York City. It's been such a great experience, and and I've been around other people from Belen, people from Miami, people from Estovir. So it's been a very great experience, and exploring the city and seeing all the churches. I've barely scratched the surface in my first couple of months. So.
Excellent. And then to do a little bit of an embarrassment, actually, it was a nice statement that Eli made in his application. He says, the church in the 21st century has been trying different ways to combat the rise of atheism and secularism. And while there isn't a specific solution, listening often helps to see where someone veered off in their faith. Heartfelt conversations with people about what they have experienced and how they veered are important, and that will be an example of Jesus present to those off track. I think it's a great message to engage with those that are not currently in their faith. And we have a special guest because Benny Diaz says that he knows you from the parish, and he'd like to say a couple words.
I've known him since he's been that tall. Okay, he's been an altar boy at the 10:30 a.m. mass forever and ever, never failed. And when he comes back from Fordham, he still goes and helps. So.
All right. Excellent. We'll take a quick picture, yeah.
Carlos, don't forget to have them sign. So thank Carlos, the commission members, and Ellie, Oscar, Father. So we are officially at the end of an era, or at the end of Father Sainz's term. He's received quite a few celebratory send-offs, but I want to express my own personal gratitude for your leadership over these 5 years. Working under you has been satisfying, blessing, and I've learned quite a bit about your patient leadership style and also your ability to observe and learn. So it's been quite a pleasure for me. So today is your final Mass with us today at Guardia. He'll be heading off to Rome over the next week. So we thank you again for all you do for us, and I know we're not going to lose track of you, that's for sure. So I know we'll welcome you back. And I'm going to invite Cesar to also say a few words.
Father, I was asked to say a few words, and at the same time, I tried to not only to keep it simple, but to keep it meaningful. And I must say that at least to me, Father was a revelation. It's not that he revealed the faith to me. It's just that he revealed the goodness in many of the agrupados in the leadership position and allow us to work and to bloom together. And today we have a much better ACU than what we had 5 years ago, thanks to him. Because he gave us the opportunity, he's trusted us, and he allowed us that magis among us to grow and to take us where we are today. Definitely, he has a space in the ACU. He has a space in my heart. Those that went to Israel with him got to know him in a social aspect that it was fantastic. And I look forward to see you in Italy. And I know I have a close friend in you. Thank you, Father.
Thank you again to everybody. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Cesar, for such kind words, certainly encouraging words when one is being sent off to a mission again. And as Andy kind of mentioned, not my last Mass. I hope it's not my last Mass. I really don't. I do hope, sincerely, to be here at this time next year again. Because we get winter off, we get summer off as well, and if I can get Easter, I'm going to make Easter as well. Certainly when I'm here, I'm an agrupado, so you'll see me either there or here, one or the other. And so certainly, yes, I don't want to say farewell in the sense that I hope to see you again soon. Hope to see you again, perhaps in a matter of months, or certainly in this year again. So these 5 years, certainly it's been a growth of friendship, but overall fraternity. And many times when I explain to people, I describe what the agrupación is, I use that word. It's a fraternity, in other words. And it's a fraternity in all the senses. And it's a fraternity that I've also desired for a long time, even before I was a Jesuit. And I remember Father Eddie had brought me to a couple of times back to the JP2 house. And nos daban unas charlas a veces, for those who were going off to the university. I knew of this thing called the ACU. And I was like, you know what, if I'm here, I definitely like to get involved with that. And so, the Lord takes his time when he hears his petitions. And so not only did he allow me to be a part of it, certainly am a part of it, but also to have that privilege of directing it for these 5 years. And so to Rome, I will be packing the medalla to Rome, certainly to receive any agrupado who goes there, because before I even came here, I did see some of you there. so I'm sure I'll see more of you afterwards. And also to make that link, like I said, that work doesn't end. It's going to probably take a different face, and that there is this Marian congregation that's also tied to the Prima Primaria, that's at the Jesuit Church. The director is a good friend of mine. And so I'm sure I'll make the necessary steps to bring us a little bit closer and to have some sort of linkage with our sister congregation in Rome. Thank you all, and God bless.